6代目のクラウン、日本の歴史に重ね合わせれば、それは明治維新です。ご覧ください。新しい時代の幕開けです。
Just minutes ago, Toyota CEO Akio Toyoda stunned the EV industry with a shocking announcement, and it all started behind the scenes. Toyota's engineers and innovators were developing a special strategy unlike anything the EV world had seen before. They weren't just preparing to enter the electric vehicle market, they were gearing up to redefine it. But recently, something even more crazy happened.
Fine with it. What do you think of an electric car?
For years, Toyota had been cautiously navigating the EV world, seen by many as a giant that had yet to wake up. But recently, the CEO's words shocked everyone. With a bold declaration, he showed that Toyota's vision of the future extended beyond what most had ever anticipated. "We're moving beyond just electric," he said. His words weren't an update on Toyota's strategy, they were a promise. The industry had never seen Toyota in this light before, and the CEO was about to reveal a plan that would cement their position as a frontrunner in the race for the future, and especially after Donald Trump took office in the USA. But if you think that this was it all, then think again.
And I will end the electric vehicle mandate on day one. Thereby saving the U.S. auto industry from complete obliteration, which is happening right now, and saving U.S. customers thousands and thousands of dollars per car.
Crazy thing with it. Again, I love electric cars, but you can't do this. You can't do this. They don't go far. Lots of little problems. They're made in China. We don't have the material. But you know we do have? A lot of gasoline is down there.
Everything recently changed when the Toyota CEO explained exactly their groundbreaking strategy. Imagine a future where there is no range anxiety, charging in minutes, not hours, he continued as industry insiders and enthusiasts focused more, eyes widening in surprise. Toyota, he said, is tackling one of the biggest barriers to EV adoption, charging speed. Toyota's approach would use a special technology aimed at revolutionizing charging infrastructure. In his vision, EV drivers would no longer need to plan their routes around charging stations or wait in line to refuel. And just when you thought it couldn't get any crazier, it did.
Now they want to go all electric and put you all out of business, you know that, right? To the welders, assembly line workers, machine operators, forklift drivers, pipe fitters, tool and die makers, mechanics, electricians, technicians, and journeymen, we love being with you, and we love being with you right in your environment. You built this country, you love this country, and you are the ones that make our country run. You know that, right? Biden's mandate isn't a government regulation. It's a government assassination of your jobs and of your industry. The auto industry is being assassinated. And it makes no difference what you get. I don't care what you get in the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 5 weeks. They're going to be closing up and they're going to be building those cars in China and other places. It's a hit job on Michigan and on Detroit.
From deep within Toyota's research labs, teams worked on radical approaches to power and sustainability, experimenting with ideas that would address the biggest obstacles in EV adoption: charging speed, battery life, and fuel alternatives. Toyota looked at every angle, aiming not to follow the crowd, but to fix the very issues that held the industry back. For years, they kept a low profile, but their eyes were on the horizon, building the technology that would give electric vehicles a true edge over traditional cars. Fast forward to today, and everything they've worked on is about to change the game.
You're saying Trump 2.0 might allow Chinese EVs to build in the US. Explain that.
You never know with Mr. Trump what he might do, but he has said he's on record that if the deal makes sense, he may allow Chinese manufacturers to set up factories here in the United States. Why would he do that? Well, bring capital in, some know-how around electrics and batteries, employ people, pay tax revenues to the local cities and states.
And what would that mean for the likes of Ford and GM then?
They're terrified of just how competitive the Chinese EVs are. The Chinese have like a 25 or 30% advantage when it comes to cost. So they could come into the market and start to gobble up market share.
And so why would Trump shoot his own industry in the foot?
He's not always the most logical, and he may be just posing. Maybe he'll throw that out the door. But as a business person, he might say, I don't want imports of Chinese cars, but I'll allow them to bring their capital and their know-how into the heartland of America. But he likes the idea of getting their money to go to work here in the US.
Toyota's CEO didn't stop there. He goes on speaking about Toyota's new focus on expanding beyond battery-powered EVs into a broader mix of alternative technologies. This wasn't just talk. This was a roadmap to make EVs not only accessible, but also dependable and diverse. By the time he finished this part of his speech, it was clear that Toyota's strategy wasn't just about keeping up with current trends. It was about creating a future where electric and alternative vehicles would thrive in ways that most automakers hadn't even considered. But he wasn't even finished. You won't believe what happened then.
It's just a temporary thing because you will not have any manufacturing plants. China is going to take over all of your business because of the electric car and because they have the material we don't. What we have is a thing called the gasoline. We have gasoline. We have so much gasoline we don't know what to do. They don't have gasoline. So why are we making a product that they dominate? They're going to dominate. You will not have a car industry left, not even.
Just as the audience thought he was finished, the Toyota CEO came in with an unexpected twist. This is just the beginning of something bigger, yet we're not just catching up, we're setting the new standard, he announced. Social media directly exploded as people rushed to share clips of the announcement, calling it the moment Toyota declared war on the EV market. Enthusiasts, journalists, and industry critics weighed in instantly, many expressing shock and awe at Toyota's aggressive strategy. For some, it was a relief to see the hybrid pioneer stepping back into a leadership role in sustainable transport. For others, it was a stark reminder of the intense competition that lay ahead.
And right now, as we speak, large factories just started, are being built across the border in Mexico. So with all the other things happening on our border, and they're being built by China to make cars and to sell them into our country. No tax, no anything. The United Auto Workers ought to be ashamed for allowing this to happen. And the leader of the United Auto Workers should be fired immediately. And every single auto worker, union and non-union, should be voting for Donald Trump because we're going to bring back car manufacturing and we're going to bring it back.
And everybody knew Toyota wasn't simply entering the EV race, they were redefining it. The entire electric car industry was now on high alert, questioning whether they could keep up or would be left scrambling as Toyota rewrote the playbook for sustainable driving. This isn't just a game changer, it is the beginning of a whole new chapter for the electric vehicle industry, and Toyota has just taken the lead.
$116 million loss to avoid paying personal federal income taxes.
Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors. I know many of her donors. Her donors took massive tax write-offs.
So have you not paid personal federal income tax?
A lot of my write-off was depreciation and other things that Hillary, as a senator, allowed. And she'll always allow it because the people that give her all this money, they want it. That's why. See, I understand the tax code better than anybody that's ever run for president. Hillary Clinton, and it's extremely complex, Hillary Clinton has friends that want all of these provisions, including they want the carried interest provision, which is very important to Wall Street people, but they really want the carried interest provision, which I believe Hillary's leaving. It's very interesting why she's leaving carried interest. But I will tell you that, number one, I pay tremendous numbers of taxes. I absolutely used it, and so did Warren Buffett, and so did George Soros, and so did many of the other people that Hillary is getting money from. Now, I won't mention their names because they're rich, but they're not famous, so we won't make them.
小林さんがトヨタさんやめてください。普段おっしゃっておられるように、ぼやきを